following video contains a bleeding awesome build. Viewer discretion is advised.
Come on, man. Get up.
System reactivated. About to come online.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Agent nearby.
What have we got down there? We got
eliminated.
pack a cone.
Gotcha, bitch!
Good morning, everybody. This is one of the greatest days in the history of the entire planet and the galaxy's universe.
Speed boot.
Detected. Hostile striker drone detected. System curtailed. Boost now active. Rogue artillery turret detected. Hostile artillery turret detected. System back online. Agent down. System disrupted. System.
What is going on?
Wait, PlumConch? Is that the same PlumConch from YouTube?
speed. Nice. Bruh.
Yeah, boy.
Boost. About to go.
Remember when people were just setting themselves on fire?
Ah! Help me, Tom Cruise!
Special teams, special plays, special players.
We don't give a fuck, give a fuck, give a fuck.
Hostile artillery turret detected.
Oh, it's gonna be easy.
Finish him, Daddy.
Detected. Hostiles detected.
I'm sending you a specialization supply.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Whee!
Hello,
Plum here, g'day champions, how's it going? And welcome back to another Division 2 build video. Today we're going to be checking out my bleeding awesome Bighorn. I've been using this over the last couple of weeks and I love how it plays. This is a slight variation on my insane headshot damage regen build that I posted a few weeks back. If you haven't checked out that video yet, please do so after this. With this setup, we can get up to 285% headshot damage, a base of 4% armor regen which equals 93,000, and our chest talent can skyrocket that to a massive 52% armor regen. which equates to over 953,000 armor regen per second. Now, the build itself isn't overly difficult to put together. However, this is a headshot damage build and it will take some time and practice to get used to use effectively. Following my last headshot damage build, a lot of players were crying, saying that you had to be using Cronus to land headshots that well on console. That's some bullshit.
See, now that's some bullshit.
It's all practice. I literally ran nothing but headshot damage builds for like 3 days straight. If you force yourself into a certain playstyle, it forces you to get better. It's a process. The path to success and perfection sucks ass, trust me. You're gonna die over and over again while learning how to use this build unless you're next level godly or you got them good scripts. But seriously, it's all about practice. Once you start to get the hang of it, you'll unlock inner awesomeness and you'll be racking up those kills and having a lot of bloody fun at the same time. Righto, so welcome back to all you amazing subscribers, and if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. If everyone can take a second to engage with the video, a like, a share, a comment, it's all going to help with the magic and the wizardry of the YouTube algorithm. Another 200 likes on this video would be absolutely amazing. If you do want to support the channel a little bit further, we do have channel memberships. Click the join button to see all the perks. And if you want to catch me live in action, jump on over and drop a follow on Twitch, and also the links for all my other socials are in the description below. Righto, with all that said and done, let's jump in and check out the build. Here it is. We've got 1 red, 5 blues, and no skill tiers, and we're sitting at just over 1.8 million in armor. The way I've got it set up is I'm running 3 pieces of Gila Guard, 1 piece of Bellstone, the Murakami knee pads, and the Ridgeway's Pride chest piece. I do prefer running it this way just because it is going to give us a little bit more armor regen. Now there's 2 items on this build that might be a little bit tricky to get. First up is going to be the gun, it's the Bighorn. This is locked behind legendary content such as your missions and summit, but it also will drop randomly in the dark zone. And the Ridgeway's chest piece, you can get this by completing the summit, and I actually do feel like it's in the open world drops now as well. As you can see, it is a pretty straightforward build to set up, it just takes a bit of practice to use. For our specialization, I am using Firewall mainly for that armor kit and also the fact that we can give extra damage to our team. However, if you did want that shared armor kit to go with your team, use Survivalist. Survivalist also gives extra damage to your teammates to status affected enemies, which works really well with our chest piece. Either way you're gonna go, it's gonna work. For our primary weapon, it is the Bighorn. This thing, if you land your shots, absolutely slaps. When you do acquire this gun, you'll want to re-roll it to get damage to targets out of cover as your attribute. We have expertise this one to level 15, but remember, expertise and your SHD watch all goes out the window during conflict. The talent on this gun is Big Game Hunter. Headshots grant plus 4% headshot damage, and this can stack up to 25 times, so that's 100% extra headshot damage. Over time these stacks do decay, but as long as you're consistently landing headshots, they're pretty easy to keep the stacks up. For your other weapons, use what you like, I just mainly use the Bighorn. For our mask, we've got our first piece of Gila Guard. Gila's going to give us 5% total armor, 60% health, and 2% armor regen. Before you get ahead of yourself, I am using the season exclusive reward, the Chill Out Mask. Don't worry about it, it's not that important, a normal Gila mask works perfectly fine here. We've got max armor regen, and because this piece does come with 2 mod slots, I've got 2 headshot damage mods. If you're using a regular Gila mask, it's going to be exactly the same, because you're going to have an attribute roll of armor regen and an attribute roll of headshot damage, giving you 1 mod slot, which is going to be a headshot damage mod. So it's exactly the same. For our chest piece, we've got the exotic Ridgeway's Pride. This piece comes with weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and we've got a headshot damage mod. The talent is Bleeding Edge. Shooting an enemy within 15 meters applies a bleed to that target. The bleed repairs 3 to 48% of your armor per second for every enemy that's bleeding within that 15 meters. So if you're bleeding 1 target, that's an extra 3% armor regen. You're bleeding 2, that's 6, 3, 12, 4, 24, and 5 targets will give you a massive 48% armor regen. Because we've already got 4% armor regen on our build, that's 52% armor regen, which takes us up to a massive 953,000 armor regen per second. The other great thing about this is that the bleed slows player movement, which is going to make it a little bit easier for us to land our headshots. Call it cheesy, but I love how it works. For our holster, it's our second piece of Gila. We've got max armor, armor regen, and headshot damage. For our knee pads, we've gone with the named Mirakamis, the Emperor's Guard. These are DZ exclusives, so unless you're in the Dark Zone quite often, you might not have these yet. Mirakami is going to give us some skill duration, we've got max armor, headshot damage, but the main reason that we're using that is for that 1% armor regen. If you don't have these knee pads, it's not going to be the end of the world for this build. You could run Gila knee pads and then run Picara's holster and have even more weapon damage. For the gloves, we've got our one piece of Bellstone for another 1% armor regen. It's got max armor regen, and max headshot damage. And the last piece on the build is our Gila Guard backpack. Now this did take a little while to get, and I actually crafted it. As you can see, it says replica.
The fact that you've got replica.
We've got max armor regen, headshot damage, and we've got a headshot damage mod. The talent that we're going to be using is Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you're within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 10% bonus armor for 5 seconds, and this can stack 3 times. So on this setup, that's 540,000 in just bonus armor. Don't forget we've also got that massively insane 52% armor regen on this build. The great thing about this bonus armor is it's going to help our armor regen kick in quicker. So that covers the build. Now for the skills, it's always going to be player preference. I love the Defender drone on this build, especially when I'm in the Dark Zone. But the other skill that I love using is actually the Stinger Hive. Because the Stingers will also cause bleed, it doesn't mean that we need to be shooting our targets to cause that bleed, which also then procs our regen. They have recently decreased the radius of this hive, but it still works really well. Righto champions, it's that time, it's fine print time, let's check out our stat sheet. Our crit hit chance and our crit hit damage aren't that important. The main stat that we're looking at here is our headshot damage, 185%. With max stacks with the Bighorn, that takes us to a whopping 285%. We've got 40% all weapon damage and 30% AR damage. As I said before, if you don't have the Emperor's knee pads and you do want to run the Picara's holster and Gila knee pads, that's going to increase this damage. And for the defensive stats, as I said, no clickbait here, we're over 1.8 million in armor. And we've got that 93,000 base armor regen. So this 93,000 is just from our 4% armor regen on the build. Once you start bleeding targets, you can get up to 52% armor regen, which again is a massive 953,000 armor regen per second. So what can I say? That's the build champions, my bleeding awesome Bighorn build. Unlock inner awesomeness and become a higher tier agent. Outsmart, outplay, and beat up your opposition. But the most important thing is have a lot of bloody fun. So what do you reckon? Are you going to be a champion and have a crack at this build? What modifications would you make? Let me know down below. Thanks for tuning in champions, and make sure that you show your support by smashing the like button on this video, and if you're not already, please subscribe. Everyone's support is always greatly appreciated, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum out.